Welcome to Off the Record. Today we're going to talk about COVID and youth sports.
Yo, welcome to OTR Sports, the show affectionately known as the sports spinoff show to Off the Record podcast, the almost famous Off the Record podcast. If you don't believe me, find out for yourself. Find us on all your podcast platforms. We are there. As you can see on the screen, I'm joined by some very debonair black men. But before I introduce them, I, of course, as I always do, have to shout out who's powering us right now, if I can find it. Of course, we're powered by Crossover Media, the place where you can find sports and culture, and it's black owned. And check this out. We are not asking for seats at the table anymore. We're building our own table right now. So check us out, man. Crossover Media. Oh, hold on. We got somebody dropping in the middle of the show. Let's bring this guy in. Oh. We got Alex dropping in. Alex on the road dropping in. He joins us. So just in time for the introduction.
Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. If you get choppy, we
just want to make sure everybody. You.
Go ahead, Alex.
Just make sure everybody knows. World champion Los Angeles Lakers. Did you guys hear about that?
I see you.
That was our daily reminder.
I saw it on the scroll. It was right after the Biden-Trump debate. I saw Lakers won championship.
Just wanted to make sure you guys heard about that.
That was unexpected, but I'm glad my brother could join us. I see his hat. So let's move to the introductions, man. First, we got my man Quan, aka OTR Quan, aka Pimp Juice. What up, Quan? How you doing, man?
Happy Saturday, everybody. Great to be back on. Loving the flow, loving the vibe.
Next up, man, we got my man Brandon, aka OTR Brandon, BKA Prince Ooch.
What up? Happy Saturday. What's going on?
Man, then we got my man Alex, who just jumped in on us. We know him, aka as Mr. Laker Central, but what y'all don't know, he's better known as Mr. Hammerjack, the Baltimore Club King from back in the day.
That's you guys.
And then we're joined by a special guest, man. This is he's been on. This is 2 weeks in a row, man. He joined us on OTR Sports. This has been our brother for 30 years. We're trying to get him in the podcast game, so we get him on as much as we can. Dawud, what's up, bro?
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. Love you guys. It's a pleasure joining such a beautiful platform, Crossover Media, Off the Record Sports Show, Off the Record Regular Podcast. My brothers are doing beautiful things, and anytime you can have that collective works in economics with your brothers, it's actually a blessing and a beautiful thing, and I just look forward to dropping nuggets and kicking a lot of ass on this podcast.
Sure.
Well, look, man, we appreciate that. So, look, man, let's jump right into it, man. There's been recently, so the playoffs is over, but Alex is reminding us who won the championship, of course, and I'm sure he'll do that each week. But the NBA is probably a 365 league, right? So there's already been some news in the NBA, and it's been pertaining to some coaching hires. So we wanted to get into that. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on some of the new coaches that were hired recently. So, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This first name I'm about to throw out there, I'm gonna need some help pronouncing this dude's name. But the Pacers, man. Let's start with the Pacers. The Pacers hired. I know his first name. Y'all help me with the last name. The Pacers hired the assistant from the lead assistant from the Toronto Raptors.
Jordan.
Here he is on the screen.
Yes, right. The B is silent.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, Jordan. I don't even think I'm pronouncing it right still.
We're gonna call him Nate BJ. No offense, no homo. But,
well,
Georgian.
The Georgian. Okay, we'll call him that. So this is probably I guess not the sexiest pick, I guess, of the hires so far. So I don't know what you guys know about this dude, if anything, but he's highly recommended by Nick Nurse, who is a championship coach. He's been his lead assistant for a while now. So what do you guys feel about the Pacers going this route? I mean, I know there were some big names that were thrown out there. There were even some unexpected names that it looked like the Pacers might go that route. I know there was talks of even Becky Hammond being in the running. So what do you guys think about this pick?
Yeah, right. Basically, but no, he's from the thing about he's from the Toronto tree. Nick Nurse is an incredible coach, coach of the year, champion coach, a longtime assistant to Dwayne Casey. And once he sat in that big seat, he parlayed that and leveraged that to an incredible season last year, and then coach of the year this year. So it fits the par for the course for the NBA. It's a real copycat league. It's very tough to think outside the box. As much as the NBA wants to be so progressive and all this and all that, in general, the billionaires pick coaches who they know. They don't really stray too far out and go off the limb. And I'm sure down the line we'll talk about what the Brooklyn Nets did and how they actually did go a little off reservation. But this guy, I mean, Indiana's a small market team, so this guy probably gets a 3-4 year deal. Doesn't have to get paid that much, and of course we know with the NBA losing hundreds of millions this year, teams, especially small market teams, aren't spending a lot of money on coaches. So why not?
I agree. Small market area, small market team. They don't really have the expectations of winning anything big as of right now. So, I mean, they have the chance and, they have the opportunity to be in the real rebuilding stage. This guy comes from the tree of, the Toronto Raptors. They became a winning organization. And so, I mean, pretty much let's see what he can do. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to help. Well, I'm not going to say that. We'll see. We'll see if it's going to help. Because like I said, he came from that organization, from the Raptors. And like you said, it's a copycat league. So they may want to, from what it looks like, they want some type of organization or they want some type of coach to come in and that's going to bring some type of winning attitude to that team. So only time will tell.
What do you think about the move, B?
I mean, I don't know much about the guy really. I mean, his assistant coaching resume is solid, but I think that's just kind of like the trend, like in NBA and I mean even in NFL, like bringing in a guy who's not particularly on anybody else's radar, looking for like a fresh start. I mean, because as you alluded to, I mean, there's a lot of other coaches out there. It's just like, all right, how many more chances are we gonna give these people? They might hold us over. Whereas you go with this guy who may not be, on everybody else's radar. He could be the one to build up the team to, I don't know, to get them where they want to go. I mean, you look at Nick Nurse, who the hell knew who Nick Nurse was before he was in Toronto. I mean, I don't know. It just, I don't know too much about the guy. Let's see what he does. But I do think this is one of those, hey, we need a voice that folks aren't tired of in the locker room. Somebody new, somebody with energy. Mm-hmm. And he probably knows his X's and O's. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah. So Alex, you are our resident NBA insider. So what do you think about this move were you surprised at it? I know D'Antoni was mentioned for this position, and it looked like he had it all locked up. It looked like they were going to go that he was going to go that route, or the Pacers would go that route. So, what do you think about this move?
I mean, oftentimes you see coaches are kind of just retreads, and so it's nice to see a dude we never really heard about get an opportunity. I mean, look, man, a lot of people didn't want Frank Vogel to get another opportunity with Los Angeles, and then it ended up in a championship. You guys did hear it end up in a championship with the Lakers, right? Okay, you guys heard that. So I mean, like it's nice to hear these guys that we don't know about get an opportunity. That said, I did think D'Antoni was going to be the guy, but let's also call it what it is, man. The NBA this season is going to take a dip in money, somewhere around I believe $500 million, possibly $1 billion in lost revenue. They'll make that money up long term, so that's not so much of an issue. But when you're talking about small market teams, I mean, let's just call it what it is. The Pacers ever going to attract a big name? Probably not, right? So why not give this guy a shot? I mean, their two best players are Malcolm Brogdon and Victor Oladipo. And Oladipo, he's got 1 year left on his deal. So if he decides to bounce next season, like what long-term established coach is going to come in there and your best player leaves next year? And then what is Indiana? So give the guy a shot. If it works out, great. I mean, Indiana had no expectations. At best, if they make it to the second round, that's a win for a team like Indiana. No one expects them to compete for a championship.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you all touched on it. I think, it's time to see some new faces in the league, man. I don't know if you guys think, and I'll ask you this question quickly and y'all can chime in. It seems like the retread situation with the coaches, it seems like it's not as bad in the NBA as it is in the NFL. I could be wrong. It seems like you may see in the NBA, like the Nick Nurses and these guys, the Steve Kerrs, those guys who weren't the Steve Nashes, who didn't have any coaching experience getting jobs. We keep seeing in the NBA, in the NFL, the Mike McCarthy's and these guys keep getting jobs and then high profile jobs. So, Dawud, I see you itching to answer this one. What do you think, man?
I wasn't itching. I got poison ivy on my hand. No, it's no. Okay, here's a couple of things. Remember, NFL old money. You're talking the Chicago Bears been out forever, Philadelphia Eagles forever, Washington Red football, whatever you call them, been out forever. So a lot of old money there. Their owners probably average in age 55, 60 years old. NBA, a little bit younger ownerships. So they actually, and a lot of the NBA guys are tech guys, so they actually do give a better chance of trying new things. But they do a lot of retreads in the NBA. I know we're going to talk on Stan Van Gundy and his terrible hire from New Orleans soon. Alvin Gentry, Doc Rivers gets a job every 2 weeks. It's so comfortable to be safe. And I get it. If I was a billionaire, I would play it safe too, possibly. But it's the NFL is old money, so they just recycle the same bums. Literally, the same bums get jobs. It doesn't even matter. So,
well, okay, well, you jumped ahead one, but I'm gonna start with the one you just mentioned. This might be of the hires. This might be the most surprising, maybe to me. It is. Stan Van Gundy was hired to lead the young New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, listen, they got a bunch of talent down there, man. So, what do you guys think about this fit, man? Let's start. I'm gonna start with you, Oud. I'm gonna throw it back to you. You kind of mentioned how you feel about it already, but let me ask you this question: Why don't you think this is a good fit?
I think Stan Van Gundy is actually a really nice guy. He's like Ron Rivera. I mean, they're really nice guys. I would probably get a cup of coffee with them. I think they're really good. As an everyday coach and a grind, see, you got to understand, when you're talking about 82 games, 6-7 months, I mean, these guys they grind out, man. And that's why a great coach like Phil Jackson can't do anymore. And you see guys like Popovich, like, Tim Duncan, you coach tonight because I'm just tired. I'm 69 years old. I'm tired. Stan Van, let's look over his last 4 years, okay? Let's look over his last 4 years in Detroit where he had total. Okay, I'm talking about total power. Can you imagine having total power? If you're married, have a girlfriend, we know we don't have total power. So imagine having total power. And you win, let's go back and say you win 32 games, 44 games, 37 games, 39 games. And you guess how many playoff wins you have? I mean, just guess. Wait, actually, let me ask you this. Hey, Quan, how many playoff wins did you have last year? Okay. And that's how many Stan Van Gundy had after 4 years. The guy's a panicky, sweaty disaster. He's a master of panic, as the great Shaquille O'Neal said. But he's a really nice guy, and he's a solid commentator. Now his brother's terrible, so he gets the mute button. But Stan actually is okay to listen to. It's
Jeff Van Gundy, he should have something raising the Raptors at the Garden, yo.
You know what this reminds me of? This whole hire, like, and just like you say, he's a nice guy. Okay,
he's a beautiful guy, really cool guy.
Yeah, he has some type of flair when it comes to his interviews, right? I've seen him, and he kind of seems like he's a guy that he just kind of speaks from the cuff. He doesn't really hold anything, he just says what he feels, right? But to me, it kind of feels as if this goes back to when he was coaching with the Magic, and when he had Dwight Howard, young Dwight Howard. He was kind of somewhat trying to, they were a playoff team at the time. They were a young team coming up. And so now it seems as if like they're trying to put him in the position with Zion. Now you have the young center, you got a young squad, you got a young team that's I want to say up and coming, but you have some talent.
Some pieces, some really nice pieces.
Yeah, you have a few pieces that can.
Let me be the voice of reason.
Oh, are you good? Am I done? Or yeah, no, I was just gonna say that this is what it feels like. That's the only thing it feels like to me is that it's just the whole redo process of when he was with Orlando. That's what it feels like to me. I don't really see them doing anything.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah.
Listen. I think the Stan Van Gundy hire is actually a really good one for New Orleans. First off, let's go back to this time in Miami. Like, I actually think he got a raw deal in Miami. The only reason I think he got fired is because Pat Riley saw an opportunity for him to get an extra ring. That's number one. Number two, I think when you're looking at Orlando, that Orlando team overachieved, man. Like, that Orlando team did really well during a time when Kobe was in his prime and LeBron was doing his thing. They beat LeBron, and oh, by the way, ran into my championship Lakers, okay? So, like, Stan Van got a raw deal. Then you look at Detroit, and let's just be honest. Did anyone believe that Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson was going to lead Detroit to anything? Like all of this is
a playoff win?
Man. I mean,
one playoff win. Whoa. But no, voice of reason.
Listen, he shouldn't.
They made a major trade for Blake. They should have at least been able to get out the first round.
He was the team president. He signed Blake Griffin to a 5-year, $20 million deal. He was.
Blake Griffin has been Blake Griffin since like 2013.
It doesn't matter. He was.
Man.
He had
That's
total,
not all on Stan.
He had total power. I don't understand how we get the pass for having total power and no playoff. Come on.
That means he's a bad executive, not a bad coach.
Okay.
Well, for New Orleans,
like that Orlando overachieved. You don't think that Orlando team overachieved?
They were pretty good. That's what I'm saying. They showed out. They had Howard. They had Jermaine.
They beat LeBron and went to the finals.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They played out, and then I guess everything exploded when everything came out with Dwight Howard throwing shots at Stan. But I mean,
he didn't want to be in Orlando.
Us Shaq fans don't even mention that little guy. Well, yes, but he also didn't want to be in Orlando because Dwight Howard likes Stan Van Gundy being a master of panic, sweaty punk. That's what he is.
Okay,
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
So hold on. Stan Van Gundy Stan Van Gundy, look, he's a very knowledgeable guy of basketball. For New Orleans to get better, obviously they are young, and youth does not typically win in the NBA. So for them to get better, they need somebody there who will coach them. If there's anything that Stan Van Gundy will do, regardless of whatever the result is at the end of the season, he is going to try to coach them on the fundamentals of basketball. I posted Stan Van Gundy, he's got skills himself. I posted a clip on Twitter of him doing that little crossover thing. Like, yo, I didn't know he had that in him.
Yeah.
But Stan Van Gundy, I mean, just the Van Gundys in general. These are guys that have been around basketball for a very long time. Van Gundy still has energy. And so I think that it's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of knowledge to get the Pelicans to the next step. Now, overall, if you want to talk about, because this is a bottom line lead, you know, we want W's. I think Van Gundy will make the Pelicans a better team, but I don't know how much better. Like this, I think Alvin Gentry is a decent coach. He always gets jobs though where he's got to come in and he's got to coach the young guys. He had it in Phoenix. He's got to coach the young guys, and they bring him over to the Pelicans. He's got to coach the young guys. Like I think he coaches those teams up.
I agree with you. Stan Van Gundy is a professional coach. No, he's a professional coach, and he's not a bad guy. So it's almost like I think people I'm not dissing him. He's a really nice guy. He's going to really love the beignets that Cat He's a really nice guy.
On the TL.
I wasn't dissing him. I'm just saying this is another retread ho-hum hire. He's a professional coach, though. He's like Ron Rivera for my
New Orleans had no expectations. No one.
Well, they do because they're going to have two max players.
I don't care.
And they have expectations. And if they don't have expectations,
sell on New Orleans.
But if they don't have expectations, then why not hire someone young like Indiana?
Oh, let them finish. Go ahead, Howard.
No, they don't have any expectations. As long as the Lakers are the Lakers, the Clippers are the Clippers, Denver, the Warriors are back. Like, they have no expectations, man. They're not made to get into the playoffs, but then you get in and you get ran out by the Lakers, Clippers, or Denver. Like, what expectations do they have? Really? They're 3 to 4 years away. Legitimately 3 to 4 years away. Not 1 year.
I don't agree with that.
3 to 4 years from like 3 to 4 years from what? Making the playoffs?
Yeah, like the bar shouldn't be that low. And if they don't have expectations, I agree. And if they don't have expectations, then why not hire someone that's actually
look at Minnesota. Carl Anthony Towns is an all-star.
No, but see, no. See, you have a point.
People
you have a valid. You have
like
you
have
have
a to LSU. He's not. Like, what are we doing?
But if they don't have expectations, then why not hire someone like Indiana did? If that's your bar, why hire a 70-year-old sweaty master? Because
it's a process.
I think more of it's because it's a bigger market. Just like we talked about it. Like Indiana's small market, New Orleans bigger market. You got Zion Williamson. He was the first pick. You know, you have a lot going with that. So, you know, you got to take that somewhat into consideration.
Okay, so let me jump in here real quick.
The expectations should be on New Orleans. Man. Expectations. Let me just say this part now. Occupy it. The expectation should be not losing your superstar. They lost Chris Paul. They lost Anthony Davis. The expectation should be not losing Zion.
Why would you have a guy like Stan Van Gundy here
to win championships? And that's what people there with.
Could the hire be?
I think it's a fun coach.
Could the hire be based off?
Who are they going to bring in?
Could the hire be based off of what they seen Stan Van Gundy do with a young Dwight Howard?
That's what Quan said. That's what Quan said earlier, and that was 15 years ago. So I don't know how much that even gets played.
I mean, and then you know our guy.
What did he do with Dwight Howard? He left, like Holla just said.
Okay,
because no one wants to play for a sweaty panty.
That team didn't. I mean, sometimes things just go. Sometimes things just go bad. Go ahead, Mike. My bad.
But it was Orlando. Like Shaq left.
He didn't. Why did Pat Riley say, "Yo,
We've all been to Orlando."
Yo, Worst airport in America.
No offense to our listeners from Orlando.
Right, so that's 2-3 times that people have said that it's better that I mean,
Orlando's a racist city. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Oh, I won't call him racist city.
Hey, Parker. Who next? What other coaches?
So let me say this right quick, and I want to shout out our guy Brian, who's part of the Ball Is Left podcast on Crossover Media. He said SVG will place an actual defensive system in place, and I mean, like I said in the opening, we know New Orleans has some talent, and they show that they can make some noise. They're young, so maybe the hire was based off of getting somebody in there, a little older, that can get a hold of this team, and wouldn't let them just run wild, and give them some structure, especially on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's a professional coach. He's been around. He's been around forever. Why not Nate McMillan though, who's actually won a playoff game in the last 50 years?
This is how.
What, too much? Too much? I mean,
this is how I know. This is how I know New Orleans is serious. If New Orleans doesn't sign Brand Ingram's up for a max extension, if New Orleans lets him walk, they're not serious about competing. They're not. So it doesn't matter who they would have brought in as a coach. They're not serious about spending money.
That's a good point.
And that's what it boils down to. Are you willing to go into the tax to produce a championship team?
Well, they got Ingram coming up. They got Zoe coming up after that. Then they got Zion. They're going to have to spend some money. And I know Georgia Benson, who's the Saints owner, she's terrible too. But
well, you got to pay to play.
Let's see if she wants to throw that guap.
well said. I'll be honest. I didn't expect.
Trump just cut. She got the money to spend.
SVG sparked a heated debate, right?
I'll be honest.
I didn't see that coming either.
I didn't expect the SVG conversation to go as far as it did, but hey, good, whatever. So, and I'm glad I skipped to it when I did, because I was actually going to go to this hire first, which I think is the least surprising hire of the three. We have Ty Lue signing with the Clippers to take over that team. Of course, we know. Hey, and Brian's in here. Brian is a Clip fan, so I'm glad he's in here. I hope he makes a few comments.
There's a such thing as Clippers fans? That's interesting.
Here we go.
So I mean, Brian, I would like, if you could put in the chat box your thoughts on the hire. But fellas, Ty Lue taking over the Clippers. He was already there. He was an assistant. So I'm gonna start with you, B.
This was a great.
What do you think about the hire?
I think it was a great hire for the Clippers. He's already been there. He's got the experience. To me, he's got the pedigree. He's got the ability to relate to the players. He's got the basketball knowledge. Again, he's already been there. I think part of I'll leave it at that. But I mean, I think the Clippers are going to be just as good, if not better, next year. I think this was a great hire, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was straight. 1,000%. Huge Ty Lue fan. I remember when he had the straight backs in the 0-1 finals when Iverson stepped over him. A sad day in Laker lore, but we got over it. You gotta, once again, the thing about Doc, and Doc is an okay coach. He's good. He's a championship coach, whatever that means. I think he plays more golf than he grinds, though. And once again, this is a grind, man. You got to be at this job like 10, 12 hours a day. You got to basically want to die on that damn court. These coaches are crazy, okay? Ty Lue has the energy. He has the championship expertise. He knows that the Clippers need a point guard. The Roach, Pat Beverly is just not it.
The Roach.
Yeah. So it's a slam dunk hire. He works for the richest owner, so the money's going to be good. He's going to get whatever he needs. It's a slam dunk. You're in LA. He wasn't ever going to Houston.
Can I just add? I think part of Doc Rivers moving on was to allow Tyronn Lue to have this chance.
I agree.
Almost like Ty Lue probably deserved to have a head coaching job before he became the assistant coach of the Clippers.
He should have been the Lakers coach last year.
And you know, hey, other coaches have been set up for these type of hires before. Now Doc Rivers is kind of doing that for his own, however you want to define that. And I think him walking away, part of that is knowing that Tyronn Lue, he's going to be able to take this team going forward.
I respect, and that's what good winners do. They should be doing stuff like that. But Doc also was playing 36 holes of golf a day. I just hope Philadelphia has a lot of good golf courses.
So let me let Quan get in here. Quan, what do you think of the Ty Lue hire, man, for the Clippers?
I think it's a great opportunity for him. I'm happy for him. I think, he's came into the league. He, like Dawud said, he played in the league when he had straight backs, and he, obviously all over him. I remember that, Alex. I was at your house watching the playoffs that night, and to see where he's came, to see where he's going now, I think it's great. He knows the system, he knows the players. Nothing was ever given to him. Like you see a lot of coaches that come out the league. He's earned his stripes. So I think it's great. I think it's a good opportunity for him. And like I said, he knows the system, knows the players, and kudos to Doc Rivers, man. If that was the case, to walk away from it and to let that man have a opportunity to win a championship or attempt to win a championship, hey man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Great hire.
So, Alex, I kept you last, man, because this is your crosstown rival. There was a thought that Ty would get the Lakers job before Vogel did. What do you think about this hire, man? Does it scare you at all? I mean, he is a good coach. He is a championship coach. Does it scare you at all with your crosstown rival? What are your overall thoughts about the hire, man?
Doesn't scare me. We have 17 championships. Clippers have 0. They've never made it out of the second round. Scary? No. Let me explain something to you. Doc Rivers is overrated, all right? And that's a conversation for another show, all right? I understand everybody's, giving him his kudos or whatever. Listen, the Clippers are the Clippers. Shout out to Brian, man. He hosts Clipset. He's a credentialed Clippers writer. He's my guy. But the Clippers are the Clippers. They will always be not second, not third, not fourth, but they'll always be at the very bottom when it comes to LA sports, behind the Dodgers, behind the Sparks. Behind everybody in LA, man. Like, I don't care how much money Bummer has. The Clippers are they suck, man. They suck. And Ty Lue, I'm glad he got an opportunity. I think he's a really good coach. I actually thought he was someone that the Lakers should have hired last offseason. He was on my short list of guys that they should go after. Obviously, I'm glad they got Vogel when it out for us. But I like Ty Lue. Like, I know some people think that he, because he coached LeBron, he might know LeBron and have his kryptonite. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, the Clippers are going to clip, man. I don't think they're going to be better next year. I don't think so at all. I think they'll be as good as they were this year, second or third in the West. And that's cute and all, but I'm focused on championships, not second or third place.
So, as he mentioned, man, our guy Brian, man, who is an NBA credential writer, and he covers the Clippers. So, shout out to him, man. And he's the host of the Clipset podcast, and of course, like I said, Ball is Left, co-host of those podcasts. So,
can I reiterate something?
Shout out to him. But this is what he said. Brian thinks Ty will place a modern offensive system in place, willing to make adjustments that Doc wouldn't. Go ahead, Ud, what you got to say to that?
I have to agree with my brother Alex. The Clippers, I don't call them a crosstown rival. Like, I was there when the Pooh Richardson Clipper days, like the Darius Miles days. Like, they're not rivals. They're a nice. They're not even the Mets. I know you got the Yankees and the Mets. The Mets at least are good sometimes.
Well, we agree the NBA was setting that up to be the clash in LA, right?
I guess it was corny. I never like anyone that's watched more than 3 years of basketball knows the Clippers are the Clippers. They're not like they're come on, they should play at the LA Sports Arena again. They don't even deserve to be at Staples. We got to cover their banners up. Like I don't whatever.
Oh,
I'm old though, so
also Brian believe Kenny Atkinson will take over the player development.
that's a great coach. Great. He got a raw deal in Brooklyn. He got a raw deal. But then again, we're not behind the scenes. And if the star player ain't feeling you, let me tell you something about NBA coaches. They're hired to be fired. I don't give a shit who you are. You are hired to be fired. You will be fired in 3 or 4 years. It doesn't matter. If the star player ain't feeling you, you are out of there. And that's what's going to happen with Stan Van Gundy. We hope it lasts 3 years, but I can see it going left real quick.
Well,
go ahead, B.
Kenny Atkinson didn't come off as a. I think Brooklyn needed a coach that was open to player suggestions. I'll say rather mildly. And Kenny Atkinson, he's got experience as a coach. Obviously, he did a pretty good job in Brooklyn developing those players out there. So I think with other folks coming in, maybe it maybe just wouldn't have been a good fit. I don't know. I think Steve Nash, Kevin Durant, they come in a timeout, Kevin Durant and then running the huddle or whatever. Steve Nash, just like, yeah. And then, when you come off that pick, do that. Whereas Kenny Atkinson probably be like, hey, I'm the coach. You're the player.
That's a good point. And Brian, I'm sorry. Brian's making some really good points here. Yeah.
It's interesting you said.
Go ahead, Alex.
It's interesting you said player suggestion because Kyrie has said we're going to take turns coaching. We don't really need a coach. We don't see us as having a coach. That's not player suggestions. That's just foolishness.
Yeah, it's like the whole cliche about the locker room, the huddle. Like you have to, regardless of everybody's ability to do whatever role that they're playing, you're dealing with people. You have to be able to mesh personalities, and so I think
that's like 90% of the job. And you're dealing with millions. Like that's the job is meshing personalities and actually listening and not my way or the highway types. I mean, right. The Bobby Knight days of coaching, the John Thompson days, the Jim Boeheim days, them shits is over, dog.
Them shits are over.
All right, so I mean, perfect segue talking about the Nets, man. Listen, it's not often you hear much media coverage or much hubbub over an assistant coach hire. So I want to throw this on the screen, right? I want to get you guys' opinion on this. So this guy right here is now an assistant coach. Amari Stoudemire was hired by Steve Nash.
Like Blade.
Amari Stoudemire was hired by Steve Nash as an assistant coach, man. Now we all know Amari Stoudemire takes red wine baths, and this is and maybe he will. Maybe he will put
like Blade in the bath of blood.
Maybe he will put KD and Kyrie onto this practice, man. So, what do you guys think of Amari Stoudemire, man, getting a shot to be an assistant coach, man? I'm gonna start with you, Brandon.
As a player, I'm an Amari Stoudemire fan. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I did say, you got Nash and Amari Stoudemire. So one thing that they will be teaching in practice is the pick and roll. And I think the two-man game with Kyrie and KD, if you can, manipulate the game to where it's down late and, you're running the two-man with Kyrie and KD pick and roll. However, they ran it in Phoenix. That's pretty deadly because, KD can roll. If the hedge defender, steps up, they got to step up to Kyrie. Otherwise, you're going to give up a 3-point shot. And they step up, you got the switch off. You got KD on a mismatch. I think that's what they're gonna go to. They're gonna perfect that, and it's gonna be hard to stop. But I don't know. That's if they ever get the plan together. I'm a Knicks fan, so I don't really want to say too many positive things about the Nets right now.
What do you think, Quan, about Amari and his wine baths? You know, getting a shot of being an assistant coach, man.
I didn't know he took red wine baths until now.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's red wine. That's the bath full of red wine.
It's the guy in the shirt looking at him. It's like creeping me out. Like,
He's
wait,
been.
Well, you take baths still reserved, don't you?
You said I take baths at what?
Still reserved.
211.
Oh man,
he's actually being interviewed in this picture. That's why the guy is there. But yeah, it's you can read up about it, man. He said his health benefits and all of that.
Okay,
to taking red wine baths. So
okay, all right, cool, all right. I don't. Yeah, I'm with. I don't know if it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say about that. Like, I'm a firm believer and I'm a firm advocate in people, whatever opportunities you get, you know, you take it and run with it. And, you know, it can come from anywhere. So, I mean, a shout out to Steve Nash for providing Amari opportunity to coach. I just don't know what this shit's going to lead. You know what I mean? I don't.
Question. Are you drinking the red wine? If you're in, are you drinking your bath water if that's you?
Yeah, I mean, look, coaches have some type of, all coaches, whatever they do. I mean, you know, some are normal, some are abnormal. You know what I mean? Whatever, you know, some people may have some type of ritual, whatever they do. All right. I mean, he's knowledgeable. He's played in the league, so I mean, he has some knowledge of the game, and I mean, he can help. So I just don't know where this shit's going to lead, though. I'm just, you know what I mean. I don't know what's going to transpire from the hire. But hey, I mean, it's a great opportunity for him. So let's see what happens.
It's got to be the pick and roll, yo. What is Amari going to tell KD? Like, KD, like KD's a better player, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Sorry.
So, Dawud, what do you think, man? What do you think about Amari getting a shot?
A couple of things. So when I was talking, I totally forgot about Amari, to be honest with you. But then I realized he's actually underrated now. That guy was fucking insane when he was playing with the 7 seconds or less Suns. Insane. He's a 6-time All-Star. He's actually underrated. But as far as the coaching thing, being an assistant coach, it's like levels to coaching. So I don't know if he should have jumped to assistant coach, maybe player development. Maybe help 3 or 4 days out the week or something like that. But like Quan says, like, it's a great opportunity. Try the shit out. If it don't work, you can go spend your $300 million, go taking wine baths and reading the Torah. Like, whatever. It's fine.
Alex, man, you got anything to throw on Amari getting this job?
Look, man, I'm always happy when a black man gets a job. That's number one. Number two, we know big men often don't get coaching positions. So for Nash to look out and get a big man, his boy, a job, give him a shot, man. I mean, look, I'm all for seeing if this works in terms of the coaching part. I don't know about the red wine baths, but hey, Jesus did turn water into wine. So who am I to criticize red wine? But I'll say this. I think everyone's talking way too much about the Nets, man. Kyrie hasn't had to play more than 60 games in a season in recent years. KD is coming off the worst basketball injury that anyone could have. I want to see them guys on the court before I start talking about them doing anything.
Fair enough. Brian makes it to the point again. He said Amari will reignite DeAndre Jordan and possibly help develop Jared Allen. Yeah, I mean they do have some. Jared Allen is a talented guy. I think he'll be one of the guys that
he should.
I think.
They can run the pick and roll with him.
He should be playing more than DeAndre Jordan, by the way, who's super washed up.
But I think that Jared will end up being a part of a deal because I do think I do think the Nets are going to make another move.
Get that third player.
You get that third player, so I think he'll probably end up being out of there. But if he's not, man, I think Amari can help these young guys. He can help DeAndre as well, man. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Y'all remember when DeAndre Jordan, when Dallas held him captive? No, the Clippers held him
Spencer
captive.
Dinwiddie to the Lakers.
Yeah, I remember that when they locked him in the room.
Why would you hold that guy captive? Like,
I'm not sure what Amari can. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what Amari can tell DeAndre Jordan either. I mean, DeAndre Jordan's a vet. He on his way out. Like he was a better defensive player, interior defensive player than Amari was.
DeAndre's a good rim runner too, though. Pete.
Yeah,
like he could.
He's a good rim runner. So was Amari. I don't know. I mean, Jared Allen, I could definitely see him helping out Jared Allen's game, and maybe that's where that. I mean, they already kind of run the pick and roll with him, but maybe Amari can sharpen him up there.
I think to Brian's point, I think that maybe Amari will light a fire under DeAndre again. Coming into a season where if it's a big if, but coming into a season where if KD is healthy and Kyrie is healthy, they have a good core, man. So maybe this will be what will light that fire under DJ again, and you can get that good 13 rebounds a game, good 4 or 5 dunks a game, and that's all you're asking for.
Yeah, good high energy, man. I agree with Alex though. I'm kind of interested in seeing the Nets. Like they got some question marks. They got some killers. I'm glad they're on the East Coast, so we get to see a lot of them.
Well, they got to play first. They haven't played together.
Yeah, that's the big. That's
a good start, right?
But I'll say this. I'll say this before we move on. I'm glad to see it, man. And you know what? Nash took a little bit of backlash because of the hire. For numerous reasons, but a lot of it was because he didn't have any coaching experience, and then to hire his guy who they did some things together on the court, who also doesn't have coaching experience. I think it was a ballsy move. I like to see it, man. So kudos to him.
Well, can I reiterate? I know I'm talking so much, but that's because I have a lot to say and I sound good. So check this out. The thing about it, we were talking earlier about a retread cycle in the NFL, old money, NBA. You have a lot of retreads because they're older, but they're still a little bit more progressive. You got to understand, Alex, who is the owner of the Nets?
Oh, it's Joseph Tsai now.
Right, and who started Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
So right now, once again, we're thinking about owners. These guys are a little bit younger, not per se in age, but thought pattern. So he's thinking, let me try Steve Nash. So it all kind of falls into place of these owners trying new things. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's the life, right? The life is you don't really become a billionaire not trying shit, right?
So yeah, thank you. Okay. So before we move from the NBA, man, there are still 2 vacancies. So quickly, guys, who do you see as good fits for the Houston job, and then the OKC job is open? I know that there's been talks of Stan's brother, the other Van Gundy, the more popular Van Gundy, as being a possibility for Houston. But then you also have names like Sam Cassell and other guys like that. So who would you like to see in Houston, and who do you think would be a good fit for OKC, man?
Well, who's available? I mean, you mentioned Cassell. Who are the other coaches that are available?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, listen,
I can see Cassell in OKC.
At this point, OKC. I can see Cassell in OKC. Cassell definitely deserves a job. Jesus, how many years does he have to be an assistant coach? And I would like to see Cassell get one of those jobs.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Listen, let me say what nobody else is going to say. All right. Tim Fertitta is the brokest owner in the NBA. If I was any black head coach candidate, I would be leery about taking that job in Houston. That's just the reality, man. Like, Fertitta's dicey. He got rid of Morey, who's been an excellent GM. He got rid of D'Antoni, who's been an excellent head coach. Like, if you're a first-time head coach, like maybe a Cassell, do you want Houston to be your first job with Fertitta, who's got money problems and all his other businesses? I don't know if I want that. I don't know, man. And furthermore, you heard it here, man. Westbrook or Harden, one of them, if not both, are going to be gone within the next year from Houston. Mark my words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree with you. I wouldn't want to. That wouldn't be my ideal coaching situation. But as a coach who's looking to prove himself and take that next step and get an opportunity,
Right.
Even
it's
if
only
it
32 of these jobs.
Temporary. I mean, yeah, you've got one of your superstars are probably going to be gone, but while he's there, you start winning some games. You know, you start coaching for your next gig. I guess at least it's something. He deserves a look.
Yeah.
The question is if Fertitta thinks that this is a championship roster, and everybody with a brain knows that they're not going to win championship, but that's the expectation in Houston, then any coach that comes in is already going to be on the hot seat. And if you're a first-time black coach, we know black coaches don't always get second opportunities.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man.
They don't always get the gig with James Harden coming in, though. usually we've already got the slate has been cleaned. Then they bring us in. The slate hasn't been cleaned yet, so he's still got Harden. So if it was Houston, get in now. Get in now and then get out. But no, everything else though, how I agree with you. But it's not an ideal situation. The way that you just outlined it, it's not.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. That's why I was saying, man, OKC I think would be a better fit for him because it seems like it's a little bit more in line with Houston. Just a lot of other things that are going on. Just like you said, you know, they have superstars. I mean, coming in and out now. This owner has issues, you know, money issues, as well as things that are going on with his businesses. And shit, look, you don't want that on your head right now. You just want to come in. You just want to kind of come in. Not, I won't say coach. You want to be in an ideal situation, but shit, you don't want to have the carpet, you know, flowing from under your feet as soon as you get there. You know, you kind of want to get some time to get acclimated with the system. And I think Cassell, I think he deserves that. Like we've all agreed that he's been in the league. He hasn't really had the opportunities as other coaches. So I mean, I think that'd be an ideal fit for him.
What about you, Oud?
Did you hire a GM yet?
I think they did hire a GM.
With the team?
Houston.
No, I agree with Mr. Battle. Like OKC from an expectation level, and like you said, as a first-year head coach, you actually do want to like learn this shit and like get your feet wet, make a couple mistakes, go on a 3-4 game losing streak, figure this out. Oh, that guy needs this. It's a process. And OKC is a whack city. I've never been, but I've heard. But you know, they got a lot of draft picks. Why not? You know, I don't know. Houston's a sexier like destination, but like Alex said, I mean that you one week away from not getting a paycheck as a head coach. So be careful.
We all know how Willie gets when he don't get his paycheck. So.
I've been wanting Cassell to get a job for a minute. I don't know what's taking so long, man. Typically the first thing that I think, because this happened to Ewing as well, you know, long-time assistants, good players, they're good solid coaches because the players that they work with speak well about them and highly of them. So the first thing I think of is like maybe they're just bad interviewers, or maybe they just aren't going to come in and be that lap dog, so to speak. I said Doug because that's what Sam Cassell probably would have said. But
Sam from Eastside, Dunbar, represent.
Maybe Sam isn't just going to take a job where he's going to be the lame duck. So maybe that's also maybe that's also holding him back as well. But I feel like both of these, both of these jobs aren't the greatest. I feel like they aren't the most ideal. Houston would be great. It would be a great story because he played there and he won a couple chips there. But then, with Tim Fertitta and just like, all the points that y'all made, it's a dicey situation. I do think that he's going to fire sale that squad. But I do agree with you as well, Brandon. If he's going to take a job, if he's going to have Harden for a year or two, then I guess take that one. But OKC is a place as well where you're not going to draw a big free agent, so you have to build your team through the draft and through trade. So,
and they've done a masterful job at that.
And they've done a great job at that. So, I don't know, man. It's a tough situation. I'm sure he has a spot next to Doc or a spot next to Ty Lue if he wants to. So, stay your ass in LA another year, man. See what opens up next year, in my opinion. So, man, the NBA, man, that took a lot longer than I thought it would.
We love that sport, man.
We're about to move on into the NFL. So, Alex, did you want to stick around to talk about the AB things? I know you don't want to. I know NFL isn't your thing, or did we say peace and adieu to you at this moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off, man. I have nothing to say about that trash league. So long, fellas.
Well,
safe travels, brother.
Man, thanks for jumping on, man. We know you was busy today.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Shout out to Alex and the Los Angeles Lakers, his championship. He's gonna let us know that for the rest of the year, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, not to be outdone by the NBA. There was a couple moves in the NFL, man. The first move was obviously Le'Veon was released by the Jets and quickly signed with the Chiefs, man. And the Chiefs, it's not like the Chiefs is it's not like the Chiefs or Sam's Club. The Chiefs looking like they Wegmans already, man. So what do you guys think about this signing, man? Like the rich get richer, as they say, man. What do you think? I'm gonna start with you, B.
You want me to talk about the AB one or the Le'Veon one first?
Do Le'Veon, and we'll go to AB next.
The rich get richer. The Chiefs, I don't think they necessarily need Le'Veon, but I say that knowing that we've seen the injury bug hit pretty much every team, and players get injured every year, but this year it just seems like depth is even more of a concern, which is why they let teams carry more players on their roster, yada yada yada. And I think this is kind of like an insurance type thing for Kansas City, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is obviously they got it right with him. They got a lot. Kansas City has been getting it right a lot, and I don't know. Le'Veon is. I think he's obviously going to be a role player. They've got a lot of playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, so he really doesn't have to. He doesn't have a lot of pressure on his shoulders. All he got to do is stay healthy and stay focused and do his thing. So, damn, they're gonna be hard to. They're already hard to beat,
right?
Yeah.
He wasn't doing shit in New York, but nobody's doing shit in New York. So that might have been just an environment thing. But I will say that the last thing I will say, let's wait and see, because now it's gone from Pittsburgh. For some reason it didn't work there.
It worked. It worked there.
It worked. It worked. He got injured or whatever.
They ain't want to pay him. They ain't want to pay him.
Maybe his skills are a bit declined as far as explosiveness, but again, the rich get richer. That's all I'm saying.
What you think, Oud?
Lev Bell, like you said, in Pittsburgh, he was incredible. I love that running style he does, the small feet and boom, darts. Incredibly patient runner. One thing about the Chiefs, and like they're on TV every week, so I watched them. They're incredible to me. They remind me of Golden State at their little peak when they're playing a different sport than everyone else. Their play calling, the explosiveness. Patty Mahomes is just incredible. One thing I don't like about the Chiefs, though, they get real soft on their goal line. You got that running back, I forgot his name, from LSU, the young cat, the rookie. He's small. He doesn't really get a major push up the gut in the fourth downs. And Lev Bell's a touchdown machine. Even if they just use him on the goal line, you're talking he's going to get 12 touchdowns the way they score. Late December when the Patriots or someone comes in the Arrowhead, and Belichick's going to find he'll figure out one thing that you do well and stop it. So how are you going to adjust to that? And now you got Lev Bell getting touchdowns in the red zone on the goal line instead of field goals or trick plays and shit. Like Peachy said, the rich get richer. Depth is important with COVID and all this stuff. I don't see anyone beating them. Whoever beats them is going to take a miracle day. Baltimore has a chance, but I don't know if they.
It's still early.
It is. It's going to take a miracle day, and certain teams are like that. And I mean, that's the one thing about football. The best team, all you need to be is the best team that day. This ain't no series.
Right.
This ain't no, basketball. The best team wins because you got to beat them 4 times, unless you're the Golden State against Cleveland Cavaliers. But Kansas City,
Quan, we know you're a football guy, man. This is your thing, man. What did you think about Le'Veon Bell signing with the Chiefs?
Overall, it's a no-brainer. I mean, any 30. Honestly, I'm surprised there weren't like 15 other teams that weren't going out to sign him. I mean,
it was. He had some.
Okay, yeah. So just knowing that now, that then that's what I'm saying. Like, look, Le'Veon Bell, I don't really think he's at fault in any of this. From where he started to where he's came now. All right, with the Chiefs, and I think it was it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to pick him up. He's still productive. Honestly, I think he's still more than likely he can. From the statistics wise, no, he's not the best in the league, but I still think that he's one of the best, and that's maybe from a personal standpoint, because he's still. He's still healthy. He's still healthy. Look now. You said Pittsburgh didn't want to give him his money, so he played it smart. I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to do all that stuff, bust my ass, and I'm not going to get paid. I'm the top 3 running back in the league. I'm not going to do that. Okay, cool. Sits out a year. Jets sign him. He gets the bank. He gets broke off. You have to in that situation. You're a running back. The years on a running back, you may have 2 years, 3 at the most. Okay, if you're that great, you're a premier back. You got to get your money. You got to get your money. You got to get it now. So he did his thing from that. Now with the Jets, he didn't do shit. He didn't do anything with the Jets. They were a horrible team. He just didn't do anything.
Terrible.
He didn't want to be there.
He didn't want to be there.
Nobody want to be there.
Nobody wants to be there. So initially, they were the only team that was going to break the bank for him to get that money. So he had to get his money. Okay. Now he played it smart. He's like, yo, they're not going anywhere. There's some bums. I'm not gonna get an ACL tear for a team that's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he chose not to give it 110%, as most players would. But he's in that position where he doesn't have to. You got to think about your career. So then, okay, they let him go, whatever, and then now the Chiefs pick him up on a 1-year deal. I think it's great. They don't have to pay him the max. They pay him the league minimum or whatever. He's still getting paid from the Jets. It's a win-win.
Yeah. And
I think he's going to go in here. I think he's really going to show out. I really do. I really think he's going to show out for the Chiefs. And then maybe they sign him next year, or if don't, this is something to where he can audition for other teams.
I was about to say that's the biggie. To him, this is like his demo tape. So he needs to get signed to a major record label next year. He'd go out there this year, score 10 touchdowns. I mean, can you imagine a set though, Quan now, Bieniemy can put him on the outside, line him right out the gut, and he can go right to the slot. Oh, this is just going to be fun.
That's crazy. Didn't even think about it. You have Eric Bieniemy. You know, you have one of the best running backs that played the game. You know what I mean? How he played in Colorado as you know, in college, and then he played for the Eagles. So like he was a really, really good back. You know, I mean, not as great as he was in college, but he came in and he did his thing when he played in the NFL. So you have that now. Now you're able to have a back that, you know, that 2-3 years ago was arguably the best back in the league. That still has miles that still has gas in the tank. So I mean,
he's only 28.
That's what I'm saying. Only 28, and he still has tread on his legs. So he's going to be okay. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think what the beauty in this signing is just what you touched on. Le'Veon, man, they could split him out into the slot. He's that type of back that, you know, he's excellent out of the backfield, catching out of the backfield. So the amount of things you could do with this type of guy, you already have a young bell horse in the young kid from LSU, but you don't want to wear him down. So that's why this was a good signing as well.
Yeah,
it could get ugly in KC. And I also say this, you know, with as far as demos and all of that. Listen, Le'Veon is not eating ramen noodles every night. He in the 2 years he was in with the Jets, he got $28 million.
Yeah.
So he's okay with that and from that aspect of it. And he didn't get along with him and Adam Gase didn't get along from the jump. So this was going to happen. Either one of them was going to have to go. I'm surprised it wasn't Gase. I think he's next. But you know, Gase never accepted Le'Veon from the jump. He
didn't want him, did he?
Yeah,
I don't think he wanted
him.
They had a trade deadline with Le'Veon. They had to get rid of him first.
Good point.
Or tried to get rid of him first, then they cut him.
It's funny that you mentioned that because he actually came out on an interview before, actually when he got signed with the Jets. And he actually was saying that Adam Gase understood him as a player. And that was one of the reasons why he went to the Jets. And I'm like, it wasn't the money. So now
he took the money, but him and Adam Gase never clicked. Gase never really wanted Le'Veon from the jump, and it ended up working out that way. But Le'Veon landed on his feet clearly, and he's in a good situation. So quickly, let's move on to the surprising news yesterday, man. You know, AB signed with the Bucks yesterday. He had been in the news the last couple of days, but all signs was pointing towards him headed towards Seattle. But Tampa Tom and those boys made a call, got him down to Florida, and now he's signed, man. What do you guys think about this pickup? Quickly, go ahead, Brandon.
They're trying to form a Madden Ultimate team down there in Tampa Bay. They got all the Hall of Fame cards in their deck. Like, I don't. The one thing I worry about with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we've seen this numerous times throughout history. Well, my time watching the NFL, the teams that go out and just start signing a bunch of names usually aren't the teams that win at the end of the season. If for some reason, you know, one reason or another, those teams just they either don't mesh. You know, so it's a lot of moving parts. And they didn't have an off season together. I mean, you got Tom Brady there, but I mean, yeah, Tom Brady is 40. Okay, you got Gronkowski there, but he's 40. Yeah, you got AB, but he ain't played in 3 years. So, like, it'll be interesting to see. They're going to be tough, but I don't know. Tampa Bay, for me, they're signing too many names. I don't feel like they're building a team of cohesive moving parts. I feel like they're just throwing a roster together right now.
What you think?
I agree with Peachy. I'm sorry, OTR Brandon. Can I call you Peachy on this? Because I know you for 40 years. I agree. It's just going to be fun to watch. I think Tampa is actually not that bad a team. The NFC is pretty weak. The NFC South is putrid. I hate the Saints. Carolina's terrible. San Francisco, Seattle. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Seattle.
Yeah, I don't trust them. Don't trust them.
They got the MVP right now.
He watching Laker reruns. That's
I don't trust Seattle, but they're an okay team. I don't know what the odds are right now, Michael, on the Bucks to the Super Bowl. Put a stack down for me because I like their path. I agree with Peachy though. They're not like this isn't like a cohesive team. But shit, sometimes you just gotta out talent cats. Like we just gotta pound you with better players. Like AB is a number one. He's a straight up number one. Gronk is 40 years old and he's still the best tight end I've ever seen. What's the cat? The dude who signed the Cash Money?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. He's a legit receiver. Their O-line is whack. I've never seen a defense. We love Bruce Arians. Why not? Like just Tampa Bay. Like why not? Like why not try to sign and make a splash in a short COVID type crazy year?
Quan, what do you think, man? What do you think about AB signing with Tampa?
So my thing. Look, I believe in third chances. I believe second, third chances. All right. He was nutty. He did some wild shit. Okay. He really did.
Clearly.
So obviously they feel as though he can come back and he can produce. He can come back to the league. He can play. He can add some value. Now, from the football perspective of it, I like Arians. I've always been a Bruce Arians fan. All right. I think the guys from coaching where he's been, as far as his coaching life, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the special on NFL Football Life. Bruce Arians, amazing. Watch it.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. So, and he already understands that. Look, Tom Brady has maybe 1 year, 2 years before he gets his neck broke, and then he's going to be done. So we got to win now. All right, it's a sense of urgency. We got to win now. They signed it for 2 years. I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well go ahead and pull the trigger. I mean, look, Tampa Bay, they're on the rise right now. And honestly, they look really good. They look really good. I hate to say it because I was like, nah, I just can't see it. I was like, Tom coming back. But, I mean, they're looking good. They're running the ball. They're passing. They're playing really good defense. And, I mean, just you have Mike Evans on the other side. He's already a monster. And then you just put Antonio Brown in the mix. That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to stop. And he's still been working out. So it wasn't like he was sitting around, in his mansion just chilling.
He was working out and making really cool rap songs too.
Yeah, it's true. And also dyeing his hair all different type of colors, aka Mr. Big Chest.
I hope he got some counseling.
I hope so too. But from a football standpoint, I mean they're gonna be. I mean they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
I think so. And a weak NFC. The NFC is weak.
Yeah.
Who they're going to have to go play against the NFC East winner? Like really? Like does that scare them to have a home game against the Eagles in December?
I don't think anything. I don't think any team in the NFC East is scaring anybody right now in NFL.
And they whipped up Green Bay already. I mean, honestly, the path to them is pretty good.
Yeah, listen, why not? I agree with y'all. Why not make the signing? My only concern is he could be somewhat of a locker room cancer, as they say. But I think the coaching staff is strong enough to kind of keep that at bay. I think Tom Brady is, he could kind of keep that as. I think Tom Brady can kind of be his handler, his Jack Haley.
Jack Haley got 4 rings off of handling Dennis Rodman.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, real quick, because this is his second take now with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
it didn't work the first time.
The first take, he didn't get a fair shot.
Yeah,
the NFL was on his ass.
Yeah.
That was not a fair shot. And
you
honestly,
don't think the NFL's on his ass now? Maybe a little bit less, but
yeah, I mean not as much now because they pretty much got done what they wanted to do.
He played 2 games with the damn patch, and he had like 3 touchdowns. They probably would have won a championship last year if they had him.
I think it would have worked in New England, but. Like U said, the NFL was coming after him, man, and then it got to a point. New England, they don't shy away from taking players like that. But it got to a point where even their hands were tied and they had to let him go. And I don't think they wanted to, but I think they had to let him go. So we'll see how it goes. But I think I'm with y'all. I say whatever. Why not? Let's try it. Let's see what's going on. So listen, man, we went a little longer than I thought we would on some of these topics, but I had a surprise segment for you guys. And then coming in, it only worked out perfectly for this situation. So let's go to this surprise segment. Let's gonna be quick. Then we'll go to the OTR pick'em, and then we'll be done. So last week we didn't get to jump on and do OTR Sports, the normal show. We did a bonus episode with Dawud to talk about the Lakers championship, and unfortunately we missed it because Brandon and Quan and Dawud, they all like the same teams. So Brandon likes the Giants. Brandon and Quan and Dawud likes the Washington football club, team, Redskins, whatever we're going to call them. So before we knew Dawud was coming on today, I created this segment. So I wanted to let you guys I wanted to rehash that because that's part of the reason why we started this show, because of the banter that goes on between Quan and Brandon when their teams play. So Quan, forgive me for this, man. For this picture here, but the Giants did win. The Giants did win, and it was, as you can see by the score, it was a close game. It was, all accounts, it was kind of a shit show, ugly game. But hey, a win is a win. A win is a win. A win is a win is a win. You're right. A win is a win is a win. So listen, this is the segment I wanted to go into. I wanted to do Quan vs. Brandon. I wanted to give you guys a chance to duke it out like you didn't get to duke it out last week. But Dawud being here, him being a Washington football club, is 2 against 1, Brandon. So I don't know if you can handle this.
2 against, okay, all right.
It's 2 against 1, so I don't know if you up to the task.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter how many it is. They have nothing. They have nothing.
I don't know if you up to this task, man, but listen, Brandon, your team won, so you go first, man. Talk your shit for a couple minutes.
I gotta talk my shit.
Talk your shit for a couple minutes, man.
Talk,
bro.
And I'll put the banner back up. The Giants won. Talk your shit. They beat Quan and Dawud's team. Talk your shit, man.
Ready? Okay, here we go. What's that now? 3 in a row? 3 in a row, Quan? No Saquon either, by the way. No Saquon either. Shit. That's all I got to say, really. I mean, what more I got to say? They haven't beaten us in how many? What now? 2 years? 3 years? At least it was close this time. Last year, not so much. Y'all lucky Saquon wasn't playing. Probably would have been another 200-yard rush. Look at Quan face, yo.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I don't have to say nothing. We won. I had to say shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys won. Good luck. Great job. But that's not really saying much because when it comes to other teams, you guys don't do shit.
So you guys suck.
Yeah, we do suck this year. I mean, there's nothing more I can really say. But you guys suck as well too. So it's not like you guys are doing anything. You're not going anywhere. We've told you this.
We beat y'all.
Yeah, that's true.
You know my saying. We can go 2-14.
If the 2
with those 2 wins against y'all, I'm all right.
You know what it is? Like I said, I think Washington football team is terrible. We have been literally since 5th grade. I think the Giants aren't a good team either, but they actually play tough though, and they got some all right players. Like they're not the worst team in the league. That would be like Jacksonville type. They're not the worst team, but
we don't have our best player.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I think Saquon is actually on the market. I would trade him if I was a Giants fan and an owner, and I would actually trade him because he has immense value still. People actually think he's good. I think physically he's one of those guys that is so damn muscular that he just every hit he absorbs and he just takes it. And I don't know if his body is really going to ever take the pounding. He reminds me of a Herschel Walker. No, but yeah, he reminds me of a Herschel Walker, where Herschel Walker was. I mean, shit. Herschel Walker at 60 at the Trump rally looked like he could still give you 1,300 yards. He's that physically imposing, you know. And I remember Jimmy Johnson coming in saying that. I'm sorry, I want a Jimmy John sub. Sorry. I remember Jimmy Johnson coming in saying, you know, look at Herschel. He just doesn't look like he's loves it, or he doesn't look like he's like a football player, and he has value. And let's trade him. And we saw what happened with that. To me, Saquon's on the market. He's on the market. That's you heard it here first. Yeah, not that he's a whack player.
It's a good thing you're not G.
See, the thing about it with Brandon is he thinks that if you have Saquon Barkley, then you can go to the Super Bowl. And that's just not the case. Like, and we saw this and we told him this.
Why wouldn't I think Saquon increasing your chances of winning? Because
he's a running back. And I mean, you need a little bit more than a running back just to get to the Super Bowl or to get to the playoffs. You know, like he's just one man. Like now, you know, like he's a really good running back, and he's really, really talented. He's really great. But like,
so y'all don't say the same shit about Chase Young? I mean, that's what you would do. We got Chase Young, you know. All right.
No, Chase Young is a once in a generation type player. Saquon is a very nice player. He has
the only question here is who's more dysfunctional, the football team or the Knicks?
Hey, don't disrespect the Knicks like that. We're way more dysfunctional.
I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, and to be honest with you, I got the football team being more dysfunctional than we are, but they have the same problem.
The only thing that's as dysfunctional as us is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, not too far from Washington. They are literally the two most dysfunctional organizations in the entire world. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and Washington Redskins. Or Washington football team.
Who's gonna
but that's what I'm saying. Like ultimately, like it's Saquon's gonna want to leave because y'all don't have shit there. Like,
oh my god.
No, I'm serious. Like you don't have a line. Like
Saquon. The only thing Saquon worried about right now is getting back on the field. Yeah, he's not worried about I don't want to play for the Giants.
Yeah, so he goes to another team.
He wants to play for the Giants.
Yeah, so he can go to another team.
Why are we debating? Mike, why did you do this? Why did you do this? We are 2-10 combined. Why are we doing this?
Hey, listen, man.
And also, you also got to remember, you guys have recently just started winning. When we had RG3, we was crushing y'all, okay? And you couldn't stand it. So now that you guys are winning.
You beat us by 1 point.
You know what hurt really lost though against the Giants? Remember that year the Washington was 7-9, or no, it was 7-8, and we needed one win to get into the playoffs, and the Giants didn't play half their team.
And they still
beat us by like 30. I hate the football team. They're so bad. They're so bad.
Well, listen.
But we also do remember some wins because me and Brandon actually went to a game one time and we actually won. And the bantering literally all from in. Just to let you guys know, it was the nosebleed section. They were free tickets. Okay? They were free tickets. All right. A man gave me some free tickets from the job. We went to the game. We destroyed the Giants, and Peachy had to sit there amongst all the Washingtonian fans and get crushed. And we walked back. It was good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And just seeing that and seeing his face like it is now, it was a good day.
So long ago, Quan. That was so long ago. You guys haven't even contended for a championship since we were in elementary school. So
since fifth grade. Fifth grade.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. Brandon, your team won. So I'm giving you 10 seconds. Here you go. Facing first, front and center. Do what you do, man. 10 seconds. Your team won.
Mike is giving me 10 seconds, and we just fucking lost. We lost.
I'm saying your team beat the other two hosts' team. Your team beat the Washington football squad team, whatever we calling them. 10 seconds to talk your shit without the two of them saying anything.
See y'all in a couple weeks when we get our second win of the season.
Hey, all right. I tried to get a brother his chance.
You gotta catch me on a win. Like, hey, the Giants won on Sunday.
Then we won.
That's the best. And then we lost on Thursday in horrific fashion. We were up 21-10 in the fourth quarter. Jeez.
All right. Well, listen, man. That was.
I had to give y'all what y'all wanted.
That was the Brandon versus Quan segment because we didn't get to.
I'll get another 10 seconds in a few weeks. Don't worry.
I
don't think you will that time.
We didn't get to record the show.
Who's going to be your quarterback then? Is it still going to be Kyle Allen, or you're going to have about 3 quarterbacks by the time
you act like Kyle Allen? But wait. You act like Kyle Allen had like 50 yards. He forced your ass. Now, granted, he made a bonehead ass play 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
I'm sorry, Quan. I was the one that gets the 10 seconds. You don't get the 10 seconds.
Well, I just made my 10 seconds. How about that? Brandon? Can I make my 10 seconds? Can I do that?
See, this is what the Quan vs. Brandon segment was supposed to be like. What just happened right there? But y'all bullcrap. So we're moving on. We're moving on to the world famous OTR Pick'em.
Oh shit!
I told my guy Dawud to make his pick, so he's going to join us this week.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
First, let's do a little recap.
Damn!
Look who won the week.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close though. It's pretty close. Everyone's still in it.
Mike won the week, coming in at 10-4. Followed by Brandon.
I'm really looking like the Redskins, the Washington football team record.
Followed by Brandon at 9-5, and then Quan came in at 500 at 7-7. How did he go 7-7? Did he miss some games? Oh, it was. Was it short week?
It's 14.
Yeah, it was 14 games, man.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You right.
5 weeks and COVIDs and all that.
Yeah,
boy, I'm about to come back up though.
So listen, man. Quan had been in the lead, the overall lead, throughout this whole thing, but not anymore. I've been on his ass.
Oh, I'm about to get that back though. I'm about to get that back though.
Mike has taken over the lead, 47-27, and Quan has fell back. He's 2 games behind now, and now Brandon is on his ass. So we'll see how it goes, man. But listen, we took a long time on some of these other topics, and that's good, man. It was flowing, but let's be quick on this shit, okay?
Yes,
so
sir.
We're gonna pick the winner. You can say a score, and then that's it. All right. So we're gonna start with let's see. We're gonna start. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. I thought I had it up already, but I did not.
You want me to call? I wrote it down. You want me to just call out the games?
No, I got you because I want you to focus on picking, dog.
I got my picks, but yeah, sir. All right.
So we had Thursday night game that we already talked about. That Brandon just mentioned. The Giants lose by 1 point to Philly. I think Quan was the only one to choose Philly. So Quan is starting the week off great. But we'll start with
Jones.
We'll start with Detroit traveling to Atlanta. 1 p.m. kickoff. Who you got, Battle?
I got Atlanta winning.
What's your score?
Oh, so we are doing the score.
Yeah, this is the pick the winner and the score, and that's it.
I got Falcons 17.
17
to what?
That'll be just pick the winner. Okay, yeah, 17, Lions 10.
Okay. Who you got, B?
Detroit 31-28.
Detroit 31-28. Who you got, Ood?
I got Atlanta 28-24. I like Raheem Morris, and any coach named Raheem is okay with me.
Yeah, you know what? I went with Atlanta, man. I got Atlanta 27-24. They looked good last week, man. Maybe Raheem got them going. So let's see how it goes. The next game, we got Cleveland traveling to Cincinnati at 1 p.m. kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
I'm going to go with the Browns on this. The Browns 17, Bengals 10. I like Joey, but I'm gonna go with whack ass Baker on this one.
Who you got, B?
I got Cleveland 25-19.
25-19. Who you got, Oop?
I got you know what? Let's make a splash here. Joey's been doing pretty good. Let's go Cincy 38-28.
Wow.
Okay. I went with Cleveland. I got Cleveland 24-21. I think Baker will pull it out, but Joey will make it competitive. Well, I'll say that. We'll say that. The next game, man, this should probably be the game of the week. We got the Steelers traveling to Tennessee to face the Titans, a 1 p.m. kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
Y'all know how I feel about them Tennessee boys, them Tennessee, aka Tennessee boys. So I'm gonna go with them Tennessee boys 17, Steelers 14.
Okay. Who you got, B?
I got Tennessee 27-24.
What about you?
I got Tennessee is also 31-17. Not a big Ben fan, and Pittsburgh's finally playing on the road. So
good point. You got them kind of getting blown out, but that's a good point, man. It did seem like Pittsburgh been home.
They've been home all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picking Tennessee because I need them to beat Pittsburgh before they come into Baltimore next week. So I got Tennessee winning 33-30. Next game, we got Buffalo traveling to New York. Well, a short travel
Very short. Very short.
To face the Jets at 1 p.m. kickoff, man. Who y'all got? Who you got, Quan?
Quick game. Bills 21, Jets 7.
Okay. Who you got, B?
Bills. Buffalo 37-6. I don't think the Jets are going to win another game.
Who you got, Oop?
That's the plan, right? I got Buffalo 24-13.
Okay, well, I got Buffalo 44-6, and yes, I really think that's going to happen. Buffalo coming off of getting their ass whipped last week. Well, no, they lost.
Yeah.
Did they?
They lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs. So that was two. Was that 2 games in a row they lost? They got
lost
smacked.
Tennessee previously. Yeah.
Yeah, they got smacked. Yeah, so
at least they lose.
Yeah, they lost 2. They lost 2 in a row. I think they're gonna take it out. They're gonna take it out on the Jets. So it'll be a blowout. The next game, man, we have the. I skipped the game. I'm sorry. We have the Carolina Panthers, traveling to New Orleans to face the Saints. 1 p.m. kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
Just like my brother Ooh said, I don't trust the Panthers. The defense plays well, but I'm gonna go with Saints 21, Panthers 10.
Who you got, B?
All right, Carolina 24-23.
Who you got, Ooh?
Yeah, I saw that Michael Thomas just punched another player, and then Emmanuel Sanders has COVID. So I'm going to go Carolina 21-17 at the Dome.
Did he punch? He punched another player?
I don't know. He's a thug, though.
No, I think he's hurt. They're saying
He's coming back.
He's hurt because he punched someone and broke his hand. He's a punk.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's out this week, they said.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Him and Emmanuel Sanders out. So I'm gonna still go with New Orleans. I'm gonna go New Orleans 27-21.
Oh, you're a big Taysom Hill fan? That guy's terrible.
He's great.
All right, the next game, man. Quan, I'm gonna start on the other side with this one. Quan and Dawud.
Don't do it.
We have the Dallas Cowboys traveling to face the Washington Football Club team, organization, whatever you want to call it. 1 p.m. kickoff.
Come on, Quan.
Quan, who you got?
Game behind you. He's got Washington. Come on, Quan.
Oh man, I can't go against the grain, dog. Washington 17, Dallas 14.
Yes.
Okay. Who
I
you got?
have a valid reason, though. I have a valid reason. Very valid reason.
You know what?
That's it.
I have to go with my brother too. I got Washington winning 28-27. I think Dallas, Mike McCarthy's terrible. He's going to be at the Bass Pro Fishing Shop locally before the game. Washington hasn't been playing terribly. We're bad, but we haven't been playing terribly. 28-27, a couple turnovers. Gets it us up to 28 points.
I think I know where you're gonna go with this, Brandon, but who you got?
Dallas 24-13.
Yeah,
and Dallas defense hasn't been playing well, and they only gonna give up 13 points.
I went with Dallas, but I got Dallas in a close game, 17-16. Again, shout out to my boy Eric Lawrence, who he reminds me every week that I used to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. So
yeah, I actually was going to say I hope you better not hope Eric is actually watching this right now.
Well, if he's not, somebody will tell him that I said that. So shout out to Eric. Much love, man. I got the Cowboys winning 17-16. Next game we have Green Bay coming off of a loss, traveling to Houston, 1 p.m. kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
I had this game too. Yes. Yeah. Packers 21, Texans 14.
Who you got, B?
Green Bay 34-24.
What about you?
I got Green Bay and the greatest, most talented quarterback I've ever seen, Aaron Rodgers, 24-17 over Houston.
Okay. I got Green Bay getting off the snide, but I got Houston making it tough. I got Green Bay 28-25. Next up, we got Tampa Tom and the boys traveling to Vegas, man. Listen, I wish I was going to Vegas right now.
Right? Definitely need a Vegas vacation.
Yes. The first four. Go ahead, B.
No, I was just saying. I heard Vegas. They're pretty tight on that COVID stuff. So you can feel safe when you go. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I want to go somewhere I ain't got to walk around with a mask all the time. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for all of that. But anyways, the first 4 o'clock kickoff of the day. Who you got, Quan? Tampa or Vegas? The Raiders. Okay, I'm gonna start with you. Oud.
Okay. It's a cross country. Vegas hasn't been playing bad. They have not been playing bad. That running back that got Jacobs, solid running back. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay though, 34-21 in a really nice game.
34-20. Okay, Quan, who you got, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same route. I'm gonna go with Tampa. I have Tampa 28, Raiders 14.
Okay, who you got, Brandon?
I pick Vegas. I picked Vegas 35-23, man. I saw the way Gruden came out and coached against Kansas City. I think he's going to come out and he wants to prove something that they're better than this Tampa Bay team as well. And they got some history there. I think he's going to out-coach Bruce Arians.
That's a good point.
I got Tampa in a close one, 28-27, but I want to jump to a game. I want to jump to, let's see. I want to skip a couple games because I got my guy in here. I got my guy Akeem, who runs the 49er Empire podcast. Check them out. So I want us to do the pick on why he's in here, man. Let's go to San Francisco, traveling to New England. 4:25 kickoff. Quan, we're gonna start with you, man. Who you got?
Oh man. Believe it or not, I'm gonna go with the Niners on this one.
Okay, what's your score?
17, New England 14.
Okay. Who you got, Oud?
Well, San Francisco going cross country. They have a really good defense. Kind of average everywhere else. Jimmy G's he's a lame. Bill Belichick, does he really lose 3 in a row or 2 in a row ever? He's too good. He knows all your weaknesses. 24-18 New England.
24-18 New England. Okay, who you got? B?
I had New England for the very reason that Oud said that, Belichick losing 2 games in a row. I just can't remember the last time. I can't remember that happening. It's going to be tough. I'll say, no, I'll just say New England 23-20 before I go in the rabbit hole.
New England 23-20. Clearly, Akeem disagrees with you guys.
The only reason I picked New England is because 2 losses in a row with Belichick.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's not that even that San Francisco probably is a better team. It's just
I would have picked San Francisco otherwise.
So I myself went with New England. Hold on. This is for you, Brandon. But I'm gonna go with my guy Cam. I'll say New England wins 28-24 in a close battle out there. So shout out to my guy King, man. Listen, check out the 49 Empire, man. That podcast. He does a live show. It's dope, man. So check them boys out, man. Let me see. So I skipped
we got Jacksonville Chargers, and then we got KC and Denver. Right.
Okay, so let me go back to KC traveling to Denver, 4:25 kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
The Chiefs. No brainer. The Drew Lock. What's Drew Lock? He sucks. He's whack. I like Melvin Gordon, but Drew Lock sucks. I'm going with the Chiefs 21, Broncos 17.
All right, who you got? Ooh?
Drew Lock can dance though. You see him? He was hitting a Dougie on their ass last week. Yeah, but like you said, I got KC 41-17. It's a high altitude game, and it's a rivalry game. But Kansas City's just rolling, man. They just bombing threes on everybody.
Who you got, B?
I got Kansas City. I think it'll be a little bit closer. They're division rivals. Pretty much the other teams in the division are building your team to play you. So I got Kansas City 27-20.
Okay,
I can live with that. I can see that.
I think this is Le'Veon's first game. So I got Kansas City pulling out some stunts to get him involved, pulling out a couple players. I got Bieniemy and Andy pulling out some plays out of their ass that they don't really use just to show off their new toy a little bit. So I got Kansas City 34-17. We have Jacksonville traveling to Los Angeles to face the Chargers, 4:25 kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
I'm going with the Chargers 21 and Jag 7.
Okay, who you got, Oot?
Be honest, I don't even know who's on either of these teams. This is a perfect game that needs to be played on a Tuesday. NFL should just have games throughout the week. I guess the Chargers. I like when Arnold introduced the San Diego Chargers. So I'm going to go with them 31-24.
Who you got, B?
I got the Chargers 34-17.
Yeah, I went with the Chargers. I got the Chargers 26-21. Yeah, that young boy looking all right, man. That quarterback looking all right.
Yeah, Hunter's he may be legit.
Okay, next we got the 8:00 game. We got Seattle traveling to Arizona. I think this will be a pretty good game. 8:20 kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
Oh, I got Seattle. I got the MVP. Now that like I said, I like the Ant-Man. He's doing some great things this season. But it's hands down the Seahawks. Russell Wilson is playing phenomenal football. I got them 24, Cardinals 17. Close game, 24-17.
Okay, who you got, Oot?
Where's the game? Is that Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't get rich playing it safe. Arizona 42-38.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Ooh.
Who you got, B?
I got Seattle 35-34.
Yeah, I got Seattle 28-24. I do think it'll be a close game, but I got Seattle pulling it out at the end.
I'm so not sold on Seattle. I'm sorry. I ain't feeling them.
You know what I think it is? I think you're still. I feel the same way. That playoff game against us, I still hate the Seattle Seahawks for that. I still don't. It still doesn't sit right with me. But
Can I ask you Can I ask y'all a serious question as football fans, Washington football fans? Why is it that you're so skeptical of every other team in the league?
But your own.
Yeah.
Because we have no hope.
We got Chase Young. We've got Montez Sweat. We're going to lead the league in sacks. It's like, but every other team, they suck. They're fucking undefeated. Yeah, but they suck.
Chase Young is a generational talent. Okay, if Chase Young was on a real team, he would be like LT already.
Yeah,
it just happens that he has to play for a terrible franchise like ours.
Yeah,
he's generational talent.
And damn well if y'all had
RG3 was the best quarterback we'd ever seen at one point, according to y'all.
It
was.
I will say, going into each year, you guys look at the schedule and say,
unbelievable.
We gonna win 12 games easy. And then and by week two, y'all like,
hey, it's the same thing every year. I hate this team.
What's life without hope, though, right? Yeah. Like, shouldn't we have hope too? Like, is that not fair? Can we have hope? We know deep down we're terrible, okay? But we're hoping.
Yeah, but it's a little over the top with y'all sometimes.
Oh man.
But we got one more game, man. We got the Monday night game. We got the Chicago Bears traveling to Los Angeles to face the Rams. 8:15 kickoff. Who you got, Quan?
I got the Rams 21-14. The Rams, they play good. They're playing at home, and I mean, I like Nicky. I like Nicky, man. But and I like that Bears defense too. But ultimately, Rams are going to take it out. 21-14, Rams.
Who you got, Old?
You know what, Quan? That's a really good pick. I hate Chicago. They're a terrible organization too. Traveling cross country. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams 18-13. I'm not sold on Jared Goff, but I think they can squeeze out. I think Aaron Donald is a generational type of defensive tackle.
Okay, who you got, B?
Another generational talent on the other side, Khalil Mack. Yeah, I got Chicago winning this game.
You mean a generational talent that's already been traded? That's generational, sure.
Well, hey, he don't run the front office. He just makes the plays on the field. Look, I don't know how. Sometimes I'm not really sure how Chicago is winning games, but I mean, outside of their defense, but they
make it happen.
They make it happen. So I just got them pulling this one out. Gut feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
5-1. They're 5. They have a better record. So and they've beaten some good teams. So I don't know where you want to go with this one.
What's the line? Do you have the real line on this one?
That's going to be a hard game to win. They're coming across. It's going to be hard. They're going to LA.
Everything's hard, man.
Yeah, I know that, but the Rams they're just too strong at home. They have too much firepower. Jalen Ramsey's he's by far the best corner in the league. The defense plays stellar. I mean, Aaron Donald, like that was just generational talent. By far, that's going to be hard for them to come over and make that turnover. It's going to be hard.
Right? Ooh! I might want to get on this one.
What's the line on that?
They giving the Bears 5.5 points.
Ooh.
See, I guess this is a good game you can make a lot of money betting on this game because it's kind of close, but you can also kind of sway either way.
Well, Mike, who you got? Say the Rams, so when they lose, I get a game on you.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so these are the type picks, man. When we doing OTR, pick them that can put you ahead on the standing. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams though. I'm going Rams 24-20. But I like that pick, yo. I do like that pick. It's crazy. I'm picking the Rams to win OTR pick'em, but I might put some money on the Bears in that 5.5 points.
1,000%, yeah. Like a last-second field goal can easily win, and you still get paid the big buck. Throw a stack on it.
Yeah. So listen, man, fellas, that's the show, the long ass show. I didn't expect Stan Van Gundy to draw.
Goddamn Van Gundy's tearing his family up
to draw some. I didn't expect Stan Van Gundy to draw such conversation, but it was good conversation nevertheless. So Listen, man, this is the time of the show where I give you guys a chance to drop some shit in closing, man. So I'm gonna start with you, Quan. Anything you want to say in closing?
Hey, it took some time. Marvelous show. The energy was fantastic. OTR Sports, this is what we bring to the light. My brother Dawud came on. Amazing, man. I loved it. We got to keep doing this. We got to keep the positive vibes going, and we just got to keep generating more outcome for this, man. This is amazing. Love it.
Yes, sir. B, any remarks in closing, man? I tried to give you 10 seconds earlier in the show to throw your shots, but any closing, any parting shots, anything you got?
No parting shots. Enjoy your weekend. I will be surpassing you this week, Quan. Mike, I'm on your ass. Awesome.
And last but not least, man, our special guest, man, we're gonna leave an open invitation for him anytime he wants to join us on Saturday mornings to do the show. But man, any closing remarks?
Yeah. First of all, foremost, I love you guys. I love you guys since I was 8, 9 years old. So it's been a while. I love talking sports with you guys. This is what we do. We used to argue Allen Iverson or Kobe. These debates keep going on. Secondly, make sure you guys get out there and vote. It's a very pivotal time, and you should exercise that right if you feel free. If you feel that it's going to affect either way. So on that note, one love and peace to everybody. Peace to all the gods too.
Word, man. In closing, man, I want to say again, thanks to Dawud for coming on and joining us. Thanks to the fellas for another good show. To everybody out there watching, that's tuned in, that's going to be listening to this on the audio version. We appreciate you. We love you. You keep us going, man. We got listeners all over the place that we can't believe that we do, but we appreciate y'all. But with that said, I want to throw this across the screen.
Hey.
Off the Record podcast, man. Check us out. We are on all your podcast platforms everywhere. Search us out. We're on YouTube. Search us out. Search us out on Sportscaster, man. We broadcasting live on Sportscaster as well right now, so shout out to them. And, of course, man, shout out to Crossover Media. Shout them out, man. Check us out. Check out Crossover Media, Crossover 365 on all your social media platforms. And that's it, man. Follow us on social media, too, because we follow people back. We chit-chat with you. We shoot the shit with you. We do all of that. So
damn,
I'll follow you if you're talking that bullshit though. Like
you plug in your companies like Russell Simmons in the early 90s.
Let me plug one more thing, man. Listen, man, we got some merch, man. Podcast Life merch. Hey, listen, this shit is true, man. This is what we do. We research, we drink, we record, we drink some more, man, and do it over. So get this. It's hoodie season. It's hoodie season at that. So get yourself a hoodie, man. With all of that said, peace out. We love y'all, man. We out.